Hello. Every time we count down, I always think of Wayne's World and how they're learning to count down. I love it.
Yeah, I do too. I think of that every time. What's up, everybody? It's Erin.
And Nicole. This is Dude, That's Fucked Up. A Wayne's World podcast. No.
Yeah. No. Oh, God.
Wow. But maybe someday.
Love Wayne's World. Gotta watch it again.
Yeah, like what if we just talked about Wayne's World all the time? I mean, could you? Maybe you'd run out of things to talk about. You could just like go on all these tangents related to. There's so many gags in those movies, like even visual jokes and stuff that you could like go into. I feel like you could do like a couple
and like
seasons.
References to like pop culture that they reference, like old movies and stuff that they reference in it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Oh. There's like things I learned from that. You know, there's things like where it's like you haven't seen it, but you get the cultural reference because they reference it in that movie or in those movies because there's Wayne's World 1 and 2. So yeah, you could definitely have like at least 2 seasons of content.
Yeah. You could talk about Alice Cooper. Like you could talk about all the like music that they like have in the movies. Yeah.
I'm wearing a very Alice Cooper shirt.
Ooh, is it rib cage? It's bones.
It's bones. There's like skeletons.
Oh,
there's like
yes,
rib cages.
bitch.
There's like legs, spines.
Ooh, you're so spooky right now. I love it.
Yes. I'm giving Halloween.
She is giving spooky. She's giving ghoulish.
Oh, yeah. She's giving boners.
Bones. Category is bones.
Category is boners.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
You look very comfy too.
Yes. Well, yeah. Overalls are wonderful.
They're the best.
And they're corduroy because you know how I love to trap those farts, bitch.
You're like doing like you're like Dutch ovening yourself with overalls because it just like wafts up when you walk, you know?
Yeah. And everybody loves their own brand, so.
Good for you. Well,
no, I'm not doing that.
I should hope not.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, it's another episode and.
Oh my God.
My God.
We're almost to 300.
What are we going to do? I don't even know.
I don't
we need
even
to brainstorm
know.
about this.
We need like to have several meetings over cocktails probably. And we need to figure out like, do we try and get a celebrity on the podcast? Do we get our significant others on the podcast? Do we make them do it? Like, do we just say, we're not doing it this week? Our gift to us is you do it.
We're going to Vegas. You guys do the podcast.
I don't hate it. Yeah.
I don't know. You guys, let us know what you think. Tell us.
Tell us if you have ideas.
Yeah, because we are
300. I want to go to Casa Bonita, but that might be a bit too much. But like, could we? Is there like a room there? Do we even have enough time to plan it?
Is it even open yet? Because I know they're like remodeling it.
I think it reopened. Yeah.
Oh.
I think we'll look into it, but maybe we could just do something. Maybe we could do a little live show here in LA somewhere close. We'll see. Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Then we can make our friends come and like have a party for us. Because you know, I had never had a wedding. I never had a baby shower. I want some sort of fucking celebration of me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's what it would be, I guess.
Well, whatever the people want, we'll do it. Yeah. Let us know. But also whatever we want.
But also whatever we want, yeah. And also send us presents. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll start a registry on Amazon. Yeah. Just kidding.
I might do it because there's a bunch of shit I want that's like very cheap and affordable, and maybe people would do it. Like an apple core.
An apple core?
It's like $8.
I have like 3 of them. You can have one of
give
mine.
Me one. Yeah, I want
bitch.
one.
I'll give you one.
My mom goes, "What do you need an apple core for?" I go, "To core apples? What do you mean?"
For all my apple coring needs.
Yeah. I could cut it the way I learned how to cut caramel apples at Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory when I worked there. That was my first real job.
I know how to do that because I ate a lot of them, but I didn't work there, but I still know how.
But you watch and you learn. It's just a couple slices, but still, I just feel like you still don't get as much of the apple as if you have a core.
It's true.
You want that round. You want that round chord angle. I don't want the square. I want it rounded as God intended.
Well, we'll see about that. I like where your head's at, though.
Thanks.
What's going on? I don't know. What's happening this week? Anything fucked up for you?
I got another Jehovah's Witness letter earlier, like a handwritten letter.
I get those every now and then too.
I don't like it. And I mean, of course I don't, but Pete's like, oh, I think you got one of those creepy religious letters again. And I was like, oh no. And then I proceeded to read the whole thing out loud. It wasn't coherent.
No, never is.
Yeah. And they gave me their personal phone number and their email address, which, I shouldn't say on here, but was very nerdy, like nerd culture references all smushed into one email. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's like Star Wars, Doctor Who, Star Trek at gmail.com or whatever. Like it was just like all these, like very whatever.
Yeah. Oh man, bless them.
I don't care. Why are you writing me? Like how'd you get my address?
There is some Jehovah's Witnesses in the park with like their pamphlet shelf thing that they bring with them everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I see them
to hand
at the
out
bluff.
To hand out the pamphlets, and I was just like, get out of here with that.
Yeah.
There's like this isn't even a high traffic time of day. Like go to, I don't know, like
no, that's
a
the
mall
best
or something.
That's the best because it's harder to avoid when there's less people around and people come up to you. It's harder to like first you get easier singled out, and then it's harder to be like, oh, excuse me or whatever. It's like
I just stayed on the other side of the street. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, just fully avoid because it follows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still haven't had any Mormons come to my door yet. No elders popping by these days. I see them on bikes everywhere.
I was gonna say I see them in my neighborhood. We don't have an accessible front door, so it's very hard to talk to us.
I think I need to get a doormat that says something about like titties or
hail Satan.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
So well,
for sure.
We'll see.
Do you have anything fucked up?
I had an allergic reaction on my eyelids, so I'm not wearing any eye makeup right now.
Oh,
I know.
Was it a pink?
No, I got like a new eye cream. And I put it like, around my eyes, and it just really
not for you.
Not for me. I threw that bitch ass shit away.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
Yeah, that is a bummer.
So I'm all like irritated. Well, it's like way better now. I put like medicine on it earlier today, and
yeah, it looks fine to me.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's like fine now. But it's like it was itchy and like scaly and like
ew.
Yeah, it was not good.
Oh my God.
Not where you want it to be irritated.
No.
It's like it's like your eyelids and your butthole, same.
Oh my God.
Same skin, I think.
I heard
sensitivity wise.
Yeah. I feel like this is a good segue into our topic tonight because I was watching the YouTube version of the podcast. What's it called? It's Natasha Leggero and Moisha, her husband. Moish and Natasha Leggero, and Dak Shepard was on. It's like something newlyweds, like unending. What did I just say? Newlyweds. Oh my God, my brain just shorted out. Unending honeymoon or something.
Oh, okay.
Never. I don't know, man. I'm botching this, but anyway, they were talking about how you never know what someone's going through. Like they might like and it's important to be empathetic to fellow humans. And Natasha Leggero was like, yeah, because like everybody like once you realize everybody has hemorrhoids, you're really like a lot kinder to people. And I was like, that's so funny. And then Moish was like, I mean, also like people might be going through like spiritual hemorrhoids. And this is exactly what I want to like the picture I want to paint for people of today's topic.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Spiritual hemorrhoid, yes.
A spirit, like this man that we're going to talk about today has given us all spiritual hemorrhoids, and like as a world now and as a universe, we just have them now, and they're going to be here forever.
I mean, honestly, truly is contributing to a horrible stain upon our culture, for sure.
Yeah.
Like this period of time in pop culture will be marked by this man's, shit stain upon it, I think.
Oh my God. It's like, yeah, it's a shit. It's not even just a shit stain. It's like changed the fabric of the underwear to where like it's hard. It's like permanently hard now. It's not even just like discolored. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is a real fucking skid mark of a dude.
Oh my God. Okay. Also, that podcast is called The Endless Honeymoon. Okay.
Got it.
I had to Google it, but well, yeah. Let's talk about this guy. Yeah.
This fucking guy. All right. I don't know, man. When I tell you,
we can't even. We're like, do we even start?
When I tell you, I could not stop laughing.
Oh my God.
Laughing nonstop, like at what I was reading about this fucking guy, the man we're talking about today, Zachary, aka Zach with a K, Bagans.
Oh, aka Bagel Bite, as our friends at and that's why we drink refer to this person.
Yes, this man.
Oh my God,
he is like. If we're on one end of the spectrum, this man is on the complete opposite end. He's not quite the worst, but he's like not. We don't fuck with this man.
No, I don't. There's just so many like tropes come to mind when I like look at him and hear him speak, and he triggers so many of my like my butthole clenches, like, and I get real tense. Just there's so many things that he's triggering just by having a conversation with someone, but it's the way he's speaking to them or speaking about something, and I'm so uncomfortable.
Yeah. So if you don't know, Zach Bagans is an American paranormal investigator.
Yeah.
Actor.
Oh my God. Erin's doing air quotes for anyone who's listening.
Television personality. Museum operator
yeah.
and author. Big quotes around that one.
The one I'd give him the least quotes around is museum operator.
Yeah, because that's true.
Yeah, he operates a museum.
But does he operate it, or does he just like
own it?
Bop around like being like, I want this thing from a museum, you know?
I'm the boss here, and this is my personal collection.
I mean, okay, I guess he's like a curator of sorts.
Sure. Yeah.
So
he owns a museum, but also what constitutes a museum? This is just someone's fucking garage. Truly. This is his garage of random shit that like some people find interesting. Some of it is horrific for reasons that relate to the real world, not just the paranormal. Like that stuff's whatever. But there's some stuff he has that's like very fucking problematic and weird.
Yeah. Also, some of the stuff in it is just horseshit. Like it's there's nothing about it that's spooky or real or
a literal pile of horseshit. And he's like, this shit came from a ghost horse or whatever. Now pay me $35 for entry. And it's like, what? He talks like that too, I feel like.
Dude, this man, I truly don't understand. I don't understand. He has zero charisma. He has like no like presence at all. Yeah. He is so
no
generic.
Uniqueness.
No uniqueness.
He's got a lot of nerve.
He's got a lot of nerve.
No talent.
No charisma, no uniqueness, a lot of nerve.
All the nerve.
And absolutely no talent.
He puts the N in cunt.
Yeah.
But that's all he's putting into a cunt. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
He's only giving the N.
So much nerve. The fucking gall. He's got gall. Undeserving.
Undesirable.
He's got gall, undesirable, nerve, and
taint.
What's the and taint?
He's
a gunt.
He puts the G-U-N-T in gunt. Oh my god. He's so dumb.
Okay, this guy. Okay, first of all, my first problem right off the bat, his name's Zachary, Zachary, and he spells it Zak, like, sir.
Clout.
K for clown, okay?
K for clown.
Yeah, so that's my first issue. And then just, like I said, I've like watched him, you know, in interviews and like on his stupid fucking TV shows and shit. And I just like literally the most forgettable face, nothing about him is.
It's like computer generated man. I mean, he's not unattractive or anything. Like he's looks
fine.
Like he's a handsome looking normal person.
He's a guy.
He's a guy. Yeah, he's a bro, but like he's a jabroni. But
he's a jabroni. Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't seen anything. Okay, I was in the dark about this man. I had
literally same.
Okay, I knew Christine from And That's Why We Drink. Yeah,
uh-huh.
I knew she got blocked by him on Twitter like a long time ago, and that was like a funny thing. And I remember her like name dropping him a couple of times, like way back in the day, probably when this was going on, you know.
And it's been like an ongoing thing on the podcast, like
but you know. I don't pay attention to
who this
specific
man is. Yeah,
and because obviously, if you're listening and you've been here before, it's your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, you know we're like not super into paranormal stuff. It's just not our passion. We don't really buy into it, so we're not invested in it, and he is that. So it's like I completely am missing the context of him until today when we watched some shows and I watched some interviews and shit with him, and like I was like, okay, now I know why Christine's beefing with this guy, because he's a real douche, and that's the energy he's giving. And she's like, why the fuck not? I'm just gonna like go there.
Absolutely. Bless. Yeah, he's, I guess, the principal host of the Travel Channel series Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
I knew this show existed, but I just have never watched it before. Didn't know anything about it. He hosts this show with he hosts a show. He's the primary host, but he is also on it with a couple other dudes who do the ghost hunting with him. And I truly cannot tell the difference between these guys. Like, they all look the same to me.
Oh my God.
Except one of them is bald, and his name is Aaron. And he's very shitty. Like, Zach is very shitty to this poor man Aaron, apparently.
I think so.
They like leave him in all the haunted places that they go to, like fully alone, and like
they're like, go in by yourself.
Yeah, they're like, go take readings in here, Aaron.
Yeah.
Fuck you, you know, like, and they like
oh my God.
leave him by himself to get all freaked out in this like weird, creepy place. Like, I don't know.
Oh, what the episode I watched today. So the episode we watch, I don't know if you watched multiple, but we watched, it's like a newer version of the show.
Like a spinoff of.
A spinoff, yeah.
Yeah, Ghost Adventures. It's House Calls.
House
Calls.
What it's called. Yeah, and the very first episode, the pilot, is they go to Long Beach. And so Erin and I were like, oh, we gotta watch this.
If we're gonna watch anything, we gotta watch this episode. Yeah.
And like, it was filmed during the pandemic. It just came out this year. It's his newest show, because I don't know if they still do the regular Ghost Adventures or if it's like evolved, but
yeah,
this is the latest installment. Just came out in 2022. The first thing you're watching, he like introduces like the problem that's happening, and then he has like a meeting with his crew, and it's all of them on a Zoom call, and I was like, it's for the same people. They're all wearing a black hat, a like a plaid flannel. I'm like, what? They all have a goatee.
It's like if you wanted to be, it's like the paranormal investigator starter pack. Like, if that, like, it could be a fucking like, Halloween costume. You know what I mean?
A plain black flat billed hat, a thick black wire or thick black like plexiglass glasses or whatever that
resin, or whatever,
a goatee, either full over the lip and under the lip, or just the bottom one, just a bottom half goatee, and a flannel shirt buttoned all the way up. It's like, okay, this is where my like pussy wires get crossed, I guess, because he's like he's like kind of cute, but then also like a little rockabilly. And like that vibe I'm like a little into, like, does this guy like have a cool old car or something? And then I'm like, I could see where this would be appealing. But I'm not saying I'm into it, but I'm like seeing where he's like on the periphery of like things I'm horny for. Okay. So not that I'm horny for rockabilly dudes, but not that I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah, your pussy wires are crossed, like you said.
Something's messed up.
Something's happening. No, you heard it here first. Nicole wants to fuck Zach Bagans.
No, I don't. But I am saying he's not bad to look at, I don't think.
No, he's fine. I mean, he's a dude.
You know what it is? It's because where we grew up, that it's kind of like the bro-y vibe and that's, when my like loins were forming, that's like what we had access to in IRL. You know what I mean? It's like, so that's kind of the thing I learned was like, ooh, that's a cute boy or whatever. So I think it's tied to that, but
I hear you.
I just want to make sure we're clear.
I get the context. I get the nuance of what you're saying. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. So this guy, he, like you're saying, we did not know this man existed. Like, we knew he existed, but like did not know the extent of his career, I guess. Like I did not,
and how long it's been. Like, okay, so the show you mentioned, Ghost Adventures, that started as like a docu-style film. He made it in 2004.
Oh my god!
And then they finally aired it. Oh, by the way, like this is why my pussy wires are also crossed, because I think the like 2004 he never left it. Style wise. So there's like a weird, there's just like something weird going on. Anyway, that's enough of talking about him in a positive way. Okay. So 2004 Ghost Adventures, it aired on the Sci-Fi Channel in 2006, and he's basically been around since then. In 2008, they turned it into a series of the same name, and it ran for well, not 19 years, but he's been around. He's had a career in paranormal stuff for like pretty much 18, 19 years.
Paranormal content that he's been making money off of for almost 2 decades.
Yeah. It's truly like
a travesty for our culture.
It's a travesty for our culture, human culture, like TV culture, content culture. It's just also
the amount of airtime and money and, audience that he's taken up, the space he's taken up is just depressing.
Too much. It's also like, the appeal of it I get, and I get why people watch this. Like, it's fun to scare yourself, and like people who do believe in this stuff, like it's exciting to watch and look for proof and things like that, but I don't know. I just watching the show we watched today, we were just laughing and texting. We were just being such catty teenagers.
Oh my God.
Just texting each other.
That's adult woman cattiness, not teenage bitch.
You're right.
Teenage me could never be that mean. Okay. You guys don't even understand. Our text messages about this episode of television, if you could call it that we watched.
Oh my God.
It's just so like the main point of this new iteration of Ghost Adventures House Calls is to literally send his team of like paranormal himself I don't know. He wasn't in this he was in the first episode, but he didn't physically go to the house call with the rest of the crew for some reason. Which
it's at one point he's
was its own thing. Oh my God.
At one point he's just like reading a prayer in Latin like through Zoom in a laptop somewhere. Onto a laptop that's being transmitted through walkie-talkies throughout the house, and the tinniness of it. I was like crying, laughing. It was so stupid. He's like basically trying to like banish a spirit through Zoom. but the computer's not even in the house. It's in a fucking van where it's safe, in quotes. And then someone's holding a walkie-talkie up to it. And then there's other walkie-talkies in the house. And it's just like, who thinks this is anything? Who's like buying into this? I just can't figure it out.
I know. So the whole thing is they're going to the house to like interview these people who have an issue with some sort of presence in their house or whatever, that the alleged feeling of dread, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about it. I can't, because I feel bad for the people, like the real people who are like reaching out for help from the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? It's really icky.
I mean, I don't know where I feel like I don't feel bad for anyone that reaches out to someone like him for help with this, because like I don't know, because you have to like believe that he's a solution when it's like I've seen one episode. I just want to get this out up top. He doesn't do anything to help the couple. We get to the end of the show and he's like, yeah, so my recommendation would be to find a priest to come like exorcise this house. It's like, hang on, you didn't even help. Like, you just angered it and left.
Yeah, like if it's like actually real, like you came in here and like stirred the pot of, if that is what these people believe, like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, what?
Yeah, you came in here, you upset and insulted it, and then you left these poor people who have been traumatized by this spirit. You left them there without any protection or anything. He's like, oh my God, he's all, I'd move if that's an option. And they're like, it's not. And he's all, oh, well, I guess like find a priest. I hated this man after this. And I did see that like he has had a show where it's called Ghost Adventures Aftershocks, where they like go back and visit the people that like live in the homes he's done investigations in. So it's kind of like, I guess like the end of the show. Yeah, it's a follow-up. But he didn't like get rid of it. So it's like they're probably still having a hard time.
What he does is like create content. And he uses people in crisis to create more content.
Yeah.
Which is like my biggest problem with it, because this particular episode that we watched, the Long Beach, the first episode of Ghost Adventures House Calls, it's in Long Beach, our hometown. Yeah. I hope these people are doing okay, better now than they were in the show. They were like having a very hard time, and I don't believe it was a ghost haunting them or a demon possessing them, whatever.
Yeah, if
they believe that, that's fine, but like I truly think they had some deeper issues than
dude, like just life.
It's just life. And I mean, people will put, rather than like understanding their emotions and feeling feelings and, processing what they need to process, whether that's trauma, grief, like mental health issues. People just don't know how to like, they don't have the tools sometimes to deal with that. And so what they do is they put those uncertain feelings that they're experiencing onto something that is like tangible, or that they think is tangible, which can be paranormal, quote unquote paranormal activity.
Yeah.
And
it's like trauma. It's like trauma on top of stress, on top of old trauma, on top of 3 other stressors. Like, it's just compounding and like creating, I don't know. They're looking for an outlet that feels more solvable than just like going to therapy or like, you know what I mean?
Because people, it's the unknown.
It's unknown. It's unknown. Yeah.
And honestly, for some people, like a explanation of any sort other than like having to do the work of going and, processing like a lot of shit is more unknown, harder, and scarier than actually, what they're actually like blaming it on, which is, and I don't know these people. I'm not a professional. I'm not like,
no, but and I was also going to say, and they have to know that that's an option. I think so many people still don't understand that like therapy, like whether it's culturally or and it's all culturally and societal, like because especially men don't feel like it's appropriate to talk about your feelings, first of all. So why would they go to a professional and do it, But it's like basically the man on this episode, they're newly married, cis hetero couple, newish like baby, I think like, under a year. They'd been married for 4 months. And they're living in what used to be the grandparents' house that both the grandparents passed away in the house, the grandmother most recently. It's just stress and trauma. And now this man feels he's responsible for this family he's created. And the weight of that is crushing him. And on top of it, he has all these feelings about this house and what it meant to him and his family and the family that is no longer there, and grief and all this heavy stuff,
and who knows whatever the else fuck is going on in their lives. Like we only saw like a teeny tiny fraction of that.
Totally, like job stuff, money stuff, like other
external family. Yeah. Like
it's like
we
friends.
we don't know what's going on in
fucking
these
pandemic,
lives.
dude.
Pandemic, yes.
Yeah.
And I think like for these people, I really hope they're doing okay.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's going on with him, and neither does Zach fucking Bagans, okay?
But he will tell you it is a demon or multiple demons that are in your house trying to possess you.
He's like, I can't even physically go there.
Yeah.
Like, this is how fucked up this man is. He's like, I'm going to zoom in.
I'm going to patch in.
From
Las Vegas via Zoom.
And I don't even think he spoke to these people through the episode. Maybe he did a couple times. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like the team is there and they're all just doing what he's telling them to do, like over the phone basically. And
yeah,
it's just,
and he's not a good boss. He's very short with everyone, especially that one guy that you mentioned. Erin, he's like being very rude to Erin because Erin is respecting the evil ghost, and he's like pissed about it because that's how they get you. It's so wild.
This man, I don't even know what to say about him. It is no wonder. And I feel it's just like a shtick, of course.
It is,
And it's like this show is heavily edited. This like, but you're getting like real emotion from these real people.
That's the thing. We were texting, being like, "Oh, like." We just started watching it, and after the husband was like talking about like everything he's been feeling, he's like, I feel this like crushing weight, I feel this like physical pressure, like this is what's going on. I think it's like it feels like a overwhelming
it's attaching
spirit.
To me.
Yeah. Immediately I'm like, oh, he's overwhelmed by life.
Yeah,
clearly. And I don't have a degree in anything, but I've felt those feelings. That's exactly like what's going on. It's too many new big things at once, and he's dealing with grief and a pandemic. It's like,
and it feels like a physical.
It feels like, yeah, you could feel it physically.
You could feel it physically. You feel it. You get sick. You feel like you can't breathe.
Your muscles are tight. Your chest is tight. You have chest pain. Sometimes
you can't
back pain.
Sleep. You have nightmares. You have this feeling of anxiety. And if you've never tapped in or like named these things that you're experiencing before, you can't possibly know what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you've always been like just going through life and like fine.
Yeah.
Quote unquote fine. And then, you know, you reach a kind of like a pivotal moment in time where you're like suddenly extremely responsible for many things. Like you're going to feel it in a way you've never felt before. And that is having a new family, dealing with a new baby, being just married, having lost, you know,
your
family members,
both
grandparents, like, of course you're gonna have some serious fucking feelings about that. So,
dude, and like, and Zach Bagans, instead of having any emotional intelligence, is just like, it's Satan. We gotta cleanse this house or whatever, and you're just like, oh god.
We're so happy to let you know today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. I just wanted to take a minute and speak to the user experience of BetterHelp and how important that is when you're dealing with stress and or anxiety and or depression, or you're just super busy and like nothing makes sense for you to do ever. You know?
Yeah.
A complicated and drawn out process is not compatible with getting help.
It's a roadblock.
It's a roadblock. Honestly, for me, one of the biggest hurdles to getting help for myself, and I think a lot of other people, a huge majority of people, is how incredibly difficult it even is to know how and where to get started when it comes to therapy. So with BetterHelp, I've downloaded the app and I am already started with everything. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire and then you're matched with a therapist like within a day or so. So it does everything for you. It's not like you're searching the web to find somebody who is specializing in the things that you need help with.
It makes it easy.
It makes it easy. The app is very easy to use. And so yeah, I think if you're having a hard time, that's like the last thing you want to do is mess around with trying to figure out how to even get started. And BetterHelp does pretty much everything for you in the app. It's great.
I don't even want to tell you how long it took me to find my like analog therapist, I guess you could say. I've been with my therapist for a couple of, like almost 2 years now. Dude, I wish that I would have had a very, very easy, like streamlined way to find one.
Yeah, I've actively been searching out therapists and everyone is like booked, like not accepting new patients or like they're not reaching back out to me. So you have this like this added block of like rejection and it's so defeating. So BetterHelp takes that away from like all that out of the equation and just makes it so simple. There's so many hard things about life, and this is not one of them, I must say. And if you are matched with somebody and you don't vibe with them right away, you can change your therapist, like
easy peasy.
Find a new person. Yeah.
People don't know that you can change therapists. Like you don't have to pick one and stick with them. If you're not a vibe, you're not a vibe. You want someone that you're comfortable talking to and that makes you feel heard and, you know, all these good things. And as the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/DTFU. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/DTFU.
Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring the podcast today.
Oh, so excellent. It does get fun because the equipment that is brought in for this is provides the funniest.
Oh my God.
The funniest shit I've ever seen. So like, okay, so obviously they're doing this through the computer and they are able to create an energy pathway that goes all the way to Zach Bagans in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they're connected in Long Beach, California. And he can feel he's being affected by everything that's going on there through the Zoom.
Yeah, he's like on the Zoom and he's like, oh, like I was in like such a good mood this morning and now I'm just like not.
I'm angry. Is anyone else angry?
I'm just like very, very mad and very, very like not happy.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like, oh, it's the demons in this house and they're getting you through Zoom. So they have like the computer and cameras set up, obviously, like both like the ones for nighttime and on regular cameras, and they set them up through the house, and there's walkie-talkies because they think that reaches the like other planes better than like it needs to be a walkie-talkie and not like a Bluetooth speaker or something. I don't know the reasoning for that. And then there's like audio recorders, and then there are these infrared cameras that it's supposed to show you it's supposed to be like a heat map thing, and it's kind of like a heat map situation, but then it maps the bones. It like maps a skeleton.
It maps the bones.
It maps the bones of not only the people that are being captured, but also the spirits,
the entities that could be in the vicinity.
Yeah, and this shit is someone created this in MS-DOS Paint and then printed it out. It's like they didn't know how to use animation, so they like printed out a bunch of MS-DOS and created like old school animation or something. Like, it's the jankiest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. It's so funny.
Your text message in our chain, you go, the fucking 1990s CAD ghost detector from MS-DOS Paint is killing me. And it's like they're like looking at like whatever the like little stick figure is basically that like is on the camera. They're like, look, it's on you. It's attached to you. And you're just like, this is not like, it's just so dumb. And I think this is like and they know this. I don't know. And then you go, I'd be more impressed if it was that little Microsoft paperclip.
How can I help you?
How can I help you? Oh my God.
I would though. If it was like, hi, with those eyes.
With the eyes? Yeah.
Yeah. It's cute. This though, it looks like fucking someone took construction paper and then like masking tape and just like, it's so stupid. Oh my God.
It's like the mapping that you do when you you're making something in CGI. Yeah. And you have like all the like ping pong balls on you and you're like fucking, doing it's like mapped on,
it's
all
like
the
the
movements
pre-CGI.
Yeah, the pre-CGI. And you like use that as like the map to like make the CGI.
But they never did it. Because they ran out of budget.
Yeah.
And that's why, maybe that's also why Zach Bagans couldn't come out that week, because they didn't have enough budget for him to fly first class on a 40-minute flight into Long Beach from Las Vegas.
You know he takes a private plane, this guy.
Ew. He seems like that. Oh my God. Well, it's very funny.
I was cackling watching this. And anytime they were doing like their paranormal activity stuff, anytime the like actual people that lived in this house were on screen, I was like, I'm so sad. I hope they're okay. But then whenever the team would be doing their fuck shit in the house, I was just like, oh my God. Like, what is compelling about this? Absolutely nothing. This is so dumb. And if there were actual ghosts or spirits or demons and they're riling them up, only to be like, you know what? We can't figure it out. Yeah. Let's just move out of the house. Like,
and that's
you.
What he did. I know.
Yeah,
and imagine feeling the despair after that.
Being like,
adding to it.
We had this like really vulnerable like moment with these people, and we're on television talking about our most vulnerable, thoughts and feelings, and then they just like left and nothing got solved. Like, these people are looking for help. Like, honestly, from the wrong fucking people. Like I said,
honestly, I feel like he came in, made it worse, and left. And I don't mean in any real sense in terms of like paranormal, but even just like not helping this couple, putting them through this trauma, validating what they think they're seeing, and then leaving. And it's like, oh no, this is not a good look. Well, but honestly, the interaction with the couple, the family that lived there, is minimal. But the like laughs and how much you're able to just be like, these fucking idiots, is like most of the show. You know, it's like you could laugh at the people who are working on the show for most of this episode, and so that was a treat.
Yeah, the paranormal researcher team.
There's like a guy on a couch, and then he gets up and he turns around. And Zach was like telling, there's like a lady that works with them, but we didn't really see much of her.
The film crew,
Yeah, but he's like, go find this guy. And she's like, okay. So she like walks in from another room and he gets up. He didn't hear that part of the broadcast on the walkie-talkie or whatever. And so he gets up and turns around, and she scares the shit out of him because she's just standing there silently.
Yeah, like just standing in the room, like and he's like, oh, fuck, Jesus Christ. And she's like, ah, shit. Like, and they just scare each other. That's like how like dumb this fucking shit is.
The two guys get into a fight about some like something that's not working, and they're like,
bullshit.
This is the demon. That's what they do. They turn you against each other. I'm like, no, this is two men not knowing how to like resolve a conflict or be kind to each other.
That to me was not even like a real conflict.
Oh no,
that was like a manufactured thing to be like,
it was.
Look, see, the energy is like making us like fight. It's like, no, it's not.
Oh God,
shut the fuck up.
All right, well, we also want to talk about, because obviously like Zach Bagans is an empire now, which he has like all these shows, and he's you know, doing lots of things, he like hosts stuff. Like I saw that those Halloween Wars on like the Food Network and stuff, like he'll host that. I want to host that. What the fuck, Zach Bagans? Get the fuck out of here. I want to go look at people making cakes, and then I want to eat them. Putting that into the universe. Okay, so but also he has a museum in Las Vegas, which we alluded to earlier, which is just a collection of his own shit. And in 2016, he worked with the Travel Channel, and they did a mini series called Deadly Possessions, where he sought out these objects that fill his museum. It's in Las Vegas. It opened in October 2017. Oh my God. I was watching interviews and local news coverage of it, and like Entertainment Tonight did a segment on it, and I was just kind of like watching all this stuff. The ego on this man, I got a glimpse of one like museum tour guide. It was dressed just like him. And it wasn't him. No, it was
like a body double Zach Bagans.
Yeah, it was like long-haired Zach Bagans,
like
same glasses.
The aesthetic, like
his exact same like black glasses. You know, they're like really thick, and then like that like little bowler hat. And I was like, the ego on this man. He probably makes them do that. I'm guessing, unless the tour guide is just like a huge fan of his, but I don't know. Anyway, I think this museum, people don't like it because of, there's a lot of disagreement and a lot of like criticism about this museum because of a lot of the things he has there.
It's disrespectful. Like some of the shit that he has is like very problematic and disrespectful.
Yeah, we'll get into that stuff in a bit, but I want to talk about some of the paranormal stuff first, which is not disrespectful because it's just shit. It's shit. Yeah,
it's just dumb.
So the first thing that he has, that I saw him do this like whole thing with the host of Entertainment Tonight, like they were doing a segment, they were like he was really hyping this shit up, and it's the Devil's Rocking Chair, and this is a quote from him, and he said, "This is an artifact that witnessed an exorcism with Ed and Lorraine Warren." And I was like, this is an artifact that witnessed an exorcism. It's a fucking chair. I was like, what? The like gravitas he put onto this fucking chair. It was so severe. It's like so severe. It's just like, this chair was in the room when it's like, oh my God, what witnessed an exorcism? I can't. And while he's talking about it, so he says, okay, he talks about this chair for a while, but the
fucking chair.
This chair. So he says, okay, so it's known as the Devil's Chair. It's written about in the the exorcism is written about in a book called The Devil in Connecticut, and it's all about the possession of a kid named David Glassell, and he makes sure to emphasize that this book is all true accounts. And I just want to emphasize that a true account does not mean something actually happened.
It's just whatever the perception is of the person who's reporting it is, and like
it's someone's account. But it's like, this is where I think he is very good at what he does, and it was the same in how it's like how he's talking about this, how he talks about the hauntings, how seriously he takes everything, and also like the questions he was asking that were very leading. He's like a medium or something. Like he knows the verbiage to use to give himself like power. It's fascinating.
Yeah. This guy is a professional. I mean, he's been
grifter.
He's a grifter. There's a reason this man has been in the line of work that he's been in for nearly 2 decades. He has staying power.
Multi-millionaire.
Yeah. This man, I don't know how many millions he's worth. I saw possibly worth $30 million, which made me want to vomit. But like, you know, like it's just I truly don't see it. I don't see the charisma.
No.
I don't. There's nothing about him that
there's
draws me in. There's like we talked about. Like he has the gunt, but not the cunt. It's just it's strange, which does make me think maybe he does possess
LOL
mystical artifact that gives him
like a Dorian Gray painting, but
like
for trolling or for like controlling people,
for control.
Mind fucking people.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well,
or he made a deal with the devil or something. I don't know, because I don't get it. I don't understand.
I can't tell if he actually believes all this stuff or if he's just like so good at talking it up. He was like, about this rocking chair, he was like, it's weird that I'm involved in these cases where Ed and Lorraine Warren left off. Like because that's a lot of the
other grifters, yes.
Other grifters, but the show he did, the Ghost Adventures or whatever. So they go to a lot of like haunted places, like homes that Ed and Lorraine Warren did exorcisms in and stuff. And so he's like
it's called clout chasing, my friend.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Because it's basically like, how do you not understand that like it's not a coincidence when you make it your business to go and follow all these people's fucking grifts, dude? You're picking up their grift where they left off. That's exactly why you're where you are.
Oh my God, it's like they grift so he could fucking scam, you know, like. Like they bushwhack their way like into this grifter paradise, and then he just kind of like had his little like, you know, I'm just like a little ghost hunter. I don't know. Yeah. Like I don't know.
They sold the oils out of their trunk so he could fully Facebook pyramid scheme. You know, it's like they started it on a small scale, not for...
They were analog. They
were analog. He's Facebook live events.
Like he is the digital age of the grift.
Also, I don't recall, but was it their intent to be making money off of that stuff? Or, I mean, I know that they were, but it was way a smaller scale than like a fucking museum in Las Vegas and like several television shows. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, you're right. Like, they started it. He's fucking the king of it now. Anyway, this chair, which he bought, coincidentally, the day Lorraine Warren died, he bought it and it became in his possession. He's like, whatever that means. It's like, it means you're fucking buying a dead woman's shit.
It's called an estate sale. Like, I don't
know. But the chair at this museum, it's in this dumb little crawl space. And it has like this red lighting on it. I think he did a stunt at some point where he like sat in it to see if it would like affect him. But you basically, when you look at it, it's like there's also audio which he collected like with this chair from the estate that plays like
audio from the exorcism.
Yeah, clips from the exorcism of David Glissow. Oh my god. Well, he also there's no like huge story to this, but Bela Lugosi's haunted mirror, but it's misleading because it was Bela Lugosi's mirror, but then some other guy bought it after Bela Lugosi died, and then the guy started saying it was haunted. So it's not like Bela Lugosi had it and he thought it was haunted. It was just a regular mirror when he had it.
It's just because it's Bela Lugosi's, like Bela Lugosi, like the like granddaddy of like horror. You know?
Yeah. So
dumb. Another thing that's at this museum is the Dybbuk box, which I think a lot of people probably have heard of if you've listened to And That's Why We Drink. They've talked about this before. Many other podcasts have like talked about this. Yeah. This is like in pop culture, like for sure. But this shit isn't real, like at all. Like this Dybbuk box is like, it's a wine cabinet that somebody like got and restored and then sold on eBay and like made up all this shit about to sell it on eBay
to get to work. Yeah, that's called marketing.
It's called marketing, baby. You put you make a story up about the product that you're selling to make it a thing. In 2003, a writer and furniture refinishing business owner Kevin Mannis purchased this cabinet from a yard sale of a local attorney in Portland, Oregon, and began developing a backstory to make it like more interesting. And according to Mannis, he says, quote, "The carving on the back of it is my carving. The stone that was in the box is something that is a signature creation of mine also. Make no mistake, I conceived of the Dybbuk box, the name, the term, the idea, and wrote this creative story around it to post on eBay." And ever since then, like the lore around it, like it's like past, like a few other people have owned it, and then Zach Bagans came into possession of it. But by that time, it had like developed this kind of like I think like internet lore around it. You know, it's just like a thing that happens, and it became like this cursed object, and everybody just like kind of believed it. I don't know.
But that's all this stuff anyway. Like people are choosing to believe all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like
you ascribe any kind of meaning to something, like sure.
that doesn't have proof or fucking evidence or science backing it up, which is like all this stuff, you know, like anything Zach Bagans is tied to has no science or
it's bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And I guess Post Malone, like I love Posty, but
you're a Post head?
I'm a Posty stan. He went to the museum and like touched, I don't think he touched the Dybbuk box himself. Like he was touching Zach Bagans while Zach Bagans touched the Dybbuk box. What? And like, I don't know. And he said, and like had a couple like unfortunate events happen to him, and he thought he was like cursed from this. So Posty got like grifted, you know, he got like got infected by this bullshit, and it makes me sad.
Oh God, yeah, just because he attributed stuff that happened after that day,
baby, that's called a coincidence, honey.
Yeah, it's a coincidence, like all this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, there's also a doll called Peggy the Doll. Don't know what that is. It's just like a haunted quote unquote doll. Dumb. There's another misleading mirror. It's the Titanic captain's Captain Edward John Smith from the Titanic, his haunted mirror. But mind you, it was not a Titanic artifact. This was not a mirror on the Titanic. It was just something he owned that like his cleaning lady sold or something after. Like it's not. It's okay. But now we're gonna get into some actually fucked up real shit.
Oh God.
Okay. So one of the things that he has, and this is something I would love to dive into because I had the thought today, like I used to think this person was a villain, but now I think I'm not sure of all the facts around Jack Kevorkian, but you know, he was like the doctor of death.
Boogeyman when we were a kid.
Yeah, he was a boogeyman. I remember him on People magazine. I remember 60 Minutes always doing stuff on him. He was pro euthanasia for humans who were suffering from terminally ill diseases, and he traveled the U.S. and he helped people have a dignified end to life that was their choice. That's illegal except for in a few states, but was fully illegal at the time. And he had what they call, I don't know, fucking Zach Bagans has this. It's called a death van. It's like a Volkswagen van, and he performed like upwards of 180 or whatever, like assisted suicides in this van. So that van's there. Kind of interesting, but more so made me think like, oh, I'd be so interested to look at like what the media did to this man. And he went to prison. And it was illegal, but then there's just like conversations that are to be had around that.
Yep. It's a big philosophical question.
Yes. And something that we've changed our minds on because it's legal in Oregon and I think Vermont and maybe California now. Yeah. Washington State. Yeah. I mean, like, you maybe have to have like a hospice nurse there or something, or like there needs to be a medical professional there, but like you can end your own life in certain situations if you're terminally ill in more states than none. Yeah. Okay. The next thing is the transaxle salvage. Okay, it's a car part salvaged from the American actor James Dean's Porsche 550 Spider. That's the car that he died in. If you're familiar with James Dean,
he was in a car crash and
horrific. Zach Bagans bought this transaxle from James Dean's Porsche. He paid $382,000 for it.
What the fuck?
It's literally a fucking like piece of metal. It's like a kind of looks like a capital I.
Yeah, it's like if it's like it's the axle of the car. It's like if somebody like salvaged a part from the like, I don't know, it's a piece of. It's something from a car accident. Like, what the fuck, where somebody
Princess
died?
Diana's car accident or something. Like, someone being like, here's the fucking leather bench she died on in the car or whatever. You know, like, here's the... It's so weird. I don't know. I also don't know what the draw to that is. It's not even the whole car. It's like a piece. Like, I don't understand that sort of thing. And it's just people wanting to make money off of...
Yeah, it's like people who take, like pieces of gallows or whatever away. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like just to, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Along the same lines, he has prescription bottles that were found at the scene of Truman Capote's death. And he also, and this is so sad to me, but he has a picture of Chris Farley dead.
Ew, why?
Isn't that... Like,
that's so disrespectful. It's just
so, why do you have this? Like, honestly, and at this point, it's not even for his own, like, most of the stuff I am sure was acquired after he had the idea to open the museum. It's not like he's had this picture as a huge fan of Chris Farley since he was like 19 or something. Like, it's all exploitative at this point. All of this is so he could charge people money to come see his shit. This is all like profiteering. It's so gross. And it gets even grosser with the murderabilia that he has, because it is like all true crime adjacent fucking artifacts. He has Ted Bundy's glasses. And the caveat there is and this is subject to whatever, but he may have worn during one of his murders. No one knows. and who's to say he did, but like they were just his glasses from the years like 1978 to, you know, whatever. It's like just like a time period. He has a picture of him holding Zach Bagans has a picture of himself holding a part of John Wayne Gacy's brain. He tried to buy a part of his brain.
What?
Yeah, it was unsuccessful. He does have a bunch of his shitty paintings though on display. John Wayne Gacy.
Okay, like that I'm like
more
with.
interested in,
yeah,
because that's the byproduct of not someone's creeping. I mean, it's a byproduct of his creepiness, but it wasn't related to the death of people directly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But could help you maybe understand like his emotions or something. Like,
yeah.
It's still gross.
It's still weird, but like I don't know. Yeah.
He has a painting of Charles Manson, but the eyes are painted with Charles Manson's ashes.
Ew.
Yeah. Also, he has a bunch of Charles Manson's ashes and bone fragments and dentures. Like,
oh my God.
And P-fucking-S, okay. This man bought and then later sold the La Bianca house.
Gross.
He owned the La Bianca house for like a couple of years in the
victims of the Manson family.
Yeah, the first victims of the Manson family, the first night.
An elderly couple like whose family still exists and like is just constantly like traumatized by like having stories told all the time about their grandparents, great-grandparents being murdered by members of the Manson family. Cool.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's wild. It's, well, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure he sold it because he bought it in like 2016 or 2017, I think. And then he was going to like he was going to do a film or documentary or something. And then he like didn't end up doing it. So he like sold the house again. Anyway. He has Richard Ramirez's quote unquote cursed shirt. Don't know what that is. And then Ed Gein's cauldron that he like boiled parts to eat.
Ew.
Yeah.
Creepy.
There's one cool thing he has that I want to give a shout out to because it actually looks very cool and fun. He has a whole room of Ghostbusters memorabilia.
That's great. Love Ghostbusters. Great. Love it. And
it's all like super top notch, like very iconic stuff. Like he
like
has
the proton packs.
Yeah, like the proton packs. He has Howard Ramis's whole suit. Harold. He has Harold Ramis's whole Ghostbuster suit from I think the second movie, but like his utility belt from the first, and it's like all put together, and it looks really amazing. And like whatever they caught Slimer in.
Yeah, with the
foot,
the trap.
With the trap. They have that, and it's like the one they used in that scene, and because all that stuff's like very well documented, you know. And that big painting of Zool or whatever.
No, of Vigo.
Yeah, Vigo. Yeah,
Vigo the Carpathian.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge Ghostbuster fan or anything.
Yeah, I know. I've seen these movies like 3 times, maybe.
I've seen them a million. They're my comfort films. I will watch them anytime, anywhere. I know every line. My brother and I watched these movies obsessively when we were children. My brother was Egon. He dressed up as Egon for like 5 years in a row.
Oh my God.
And just would introduce himself as Egon. So, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
It's not the painting that he has is not the original, but it's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool stuff. And then I did want to just give a couple frequently asked questions from the museum, just so you know. And this is like the type of tone that I just feel like is so douchey and is perfectly him. Zach loves surprising. Okay, so it's like the question was, will I meet Zach at the museum? Zach loves surprising fans checking out his haunted collection. Although he spends a lot of time there, we cannot guarantee a special appearance. In addition, we do not offer meet and greet packages of any kind.
Oh my God.
And then, can I bring in my own paranormal equipment? There is no ghost hunting or paranormal equipment of any kind allowed on the general admission or RIP tours.
RIP tours. Shut the fuck up.
I know. But that's also to say, like, no, you can't bring your own paranormal stuff in here because then you'll know that the shit we say is haunted isn't. And then no one will want to come here. So, no, sorry, you can't do that. And also
assuming that equipment that is used to measure paranormal activity actually is measuring anything at all.
Yeah. It's visitors must sign waivers before touring the museum, and in some instances give verbal approval before physically seeing items, like the cursed mirrors. They have like a velvet curtain in front of it, and they'll be like, and behind this curtain is Bela Lugosi's haunted mirror or whatever, and it's like, oh, can I see it? It's like, are you sure you want to see it and you're prepared for all the consequences or whatever?
You must sign this waiver of release.
Yep. So
oh my god. Well, this man's also written books. The worst one, though, I just have to talk about really quick because the cover of it is so bad. He wrote a ghost hunting for dummies book. Like, you know, those like fill in the blank for dummies.
Yeah, Windows for Dummies. That's like what these books were popularized in our youths.
Like in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, for computer stuff mostly.
Yeah, like Photoshop for dummies.
Yeah.
Excel for dummies, yeah. Mm-hmm. But this fucking shit is literally... it's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm cackling just... I was cackling just looking at... Like, when I found this cover and I could not believe it's real. It's just so bad. It doesn't even, like, look like a for dummies book. It has... Like, there's, like, an iconic, like, kind of illustration to it.
I don't think it's an actual for dummies. Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah. It's a registered trademark. Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Yeah. So
they didn't help him at all. They're like, we're not going to give you our font toolkit. We're not going to give you like any high res images.
No.
Like you're on your own. But yeah, you could use our logo.
It's so bad. Just Google the Ghost Hunting for Dummies by Zach Bagans. It sucks so bad. It's so funny. And I guess in the book, like there's definitely some like evidence that he has like plagiarized like big chunks of it. Yeah. Also, it's not very well like proofread. There's like tons of spelling errors and like repetitive sentences. Like
lots the mediocrity of this man.
Truly, this is like my biggest thing. Like, there's so many talented people in this world. There's so many original and, you know, exceptional people in this world. Mm-hmm. And this is
then
like
Zach Bagans.
Then there's Zach Bagans. And we've had him existing on television for nearly 2 decades, taking like I said, taking up space, taking up time, like
taking advantage, infusing himself into like our pop culture. I'm sad that I've even talked for an hour about this man, honestly. Like, it's so depressing. But fuck, you know? It's all so selfish, like, and self-serving. Everything he does, you know, I feel like
he's not a true believer. I don't think he is. Like, I think
interesting.
I don't. I think because he's like a former skeptic, quote unquote, and like then he like read basically like how to be a paranormal, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make money off of this. I can do this. And then he just like and he's just doing it.
I mean, honestly, I applaud that part of it. It's kind of like, you know, like he saw an opening to make a career. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think once we got into the realm of like, you know, exploiting people for TV, not helping them in any way, you know, like I would even feel better about the episode we watched of House Calls if he arranged, like, I've arranged for a priest to come visit, and even if they filmed that little part and showed that, I would at least feel better thinking he did this for ultimately to help the family. But that's not what he's doing. Like, at this point, it's just to exploit, make entertainment out of all this shit, and then move on to the next thing. Like, just like his museum. There's no theme to the museum. It's just like fucking crap. It's so random. It's like 13 rooms or whatever. One room's movie memorabilia, and then right next to it is like fucking the most horrific serial killer shit you've ever heard of, and people like are paying you money.
It's very Vegas, though.
It is. It's so Vegas. And honestly, I kind of want to go. There is something about like, I don't know.
It's look. It is very much he is a monster of our own making.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a chicken or egg thing. I don't know.
True.
He fits into the zeitgeist because of what
an audience.
America is, you know?
Yeah,
and there's an audience for it. And it's like, I don't know if like people are hate watching it or like really eating it up and like think it's real or what.
Or people love to get scared even though they know it's not real. Like, there's so many reasons.
My biggest issue, though, is like the exploitation of people who are actually seeking help. This house calls bullshit is absolute trash. Like, stick to fucking going to weird haunted houses or weird, you know, whatever. Like, ride the coattails of the you know, ghost hunters who've come before, or the, you know, whatever. Like, go global with it. Go to like, I don't know, go to haunted houses in fucking England or something. Like there's House Hunters International. Be a ghost hunter international. Come on, man. Like, I don't know.
I know. Yeah, like go to like the tombs and stuff or something that like might actually be haunted, or I don't know. It's
don't involve other people though, like is what I'm saying. Like
in their homes.
In their homes. It's like very intimate, and like seeing those people on TV, it was just like it felt very gross, and I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Oh my God. Well,
this guy's a fucking chode.
Yeah, he's Chode City. Zach Bagans would say, and he did say, I think, and something I read or watched, like, people will think, you know, people are complaining about some of the, like, true crime, you know, exhibits, things that we have on exhibit here at the museum, but, like, it's all very, like, we make sure it's all very tasteful. And I'm like, nothing about this man is tasteful. So
I'd rather see a fucking gaper butthole than like some of this shit.
I'd rather go to the Museum of Gapers, and it's just like gaper after gaper, but like dress them in fun ways, you know? Like, this is the Ghostbuster gaper.
I'm telling you, I've seen I've been to the Museum of Sex in New York. I've been to the Penis Museum in Reykjavik. Mm-hmm. All more tasteful than this horseshit here.
Yeah. Oh God. It's so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, well, that's how we feel.
Yeah. I feel like we could have talked about him for literal hours. There's just like so much he's doing, and so much, you know, we only have so much time, but like so many opinions about him and things he's been like tangentially involved in and stuff. But we just focused on the basics, and I think that was enough for me to be like, no, thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. I got nothing else, man. This guy sucks. Zach Douchebagans.
I just want to, that's good. I just want to keep making fun of him for like his vibe. Like, he's very, I don't know. We talked about this offline, but like how he's a pickup artist, like failure.
Oh yeah, a failed pickup artist, 100%.
And he's like a wannabe like David Blaine, Chris Angel kind of like type guy, and like clearly he wants to be a comedian or a musician, but he didn't have the talent. So like this is where he ended up. You know what I mean?
It's so weird. I don't get it. I truly don't get it.
And his goatee looks like ball hair to me. It's like very like separated or something. It's like sparse, very thin.
Yeah. It's a sparse goatee. It's not good. It's like, oh, there's nothing. Like, he could be a hot dude if he just like
that's where the
made
pussy wires are crossed.
A couple more style choices that were
better.
Not that were better. I don't know.
That weren't like faux emo 2004. Like,
Again, this man lives in Las Vegas, so
Yeah, there's
stay there. He belongs there.
Honestly, he's a Henderson 10.
Oh, I think he's like a Henderson 7. Telling you.
I don't know, man. I feel like
Henderson is the suburbs of Las Vegas.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Las Vegas 10 because Las Vegas has so many people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not really from Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said Henderson 10. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I don't know, man.
He's a prim 10.
He's a Laughlin 5. No, he's a
Laughlin 15.
He's a Laughlin 10. He's a Laughlin 10.
He's a prim 40.
Yeah, he's a prim. Or where's the alien jerky? Is that prim?
Oh, that's Baker.
Yeah.
He's a baker's dozen.
He's a baker's dozen.
I've never met people from these actual towns, so obviously we're kidding, but I don't know the people from there, but the towns themselves, PU.
It's
no one lives there. No one actually lives there. No one lives in Prim at State Line. No one lives in Baker.
No.
That I know.
If you see a sign for free puppies on the side of the road, don't turn down that road. Okay?
Oh, yeah. There's good.
Yeah. It's a hills have eyes situation. So
also, why are you getting a puppy on the side of the road on your way to Vegas? What are you going to do with it when you get there?
I think I'm thinking like on the way back.
Oh, on the way home, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
anyway.
All right.
Oh my God.
Maybe we'll get blocked on Twitter. That's fine.
I hope so. Oh God, yeah. I've never been blocked by anybody. So.
Oh, maybe we should try.
Yeah.
It could be ancillary content to this episode.
Oh my God.
Well, follow us on social medias at DTFU Podcast.
All the places. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah.
What have you. TikTok. Go to our website. It's dtfupodcast.com. All kinds of it, like go wherever you want from there. There's so much stuff. Our Patreon is linked there. Everything. If you want to shoot us a note.
Yep.
Ideas for our 300th episode. Listener stories, topic suggestions. We love it all. So shoot us notes there. And that's all I got. Just stay excellent to yourselves
and each other.
Bye.
Bye.